So instantly I started crying. He answered the FaceTime and I couldn't even speak. I just was shaking my head and crying. And he's like, "We're pregnant?" And I said, "Yep, we are. It worked."
Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm Brock.
And I'm Mariah.
And we're the Ruizes, and we're from St. Paul Park, Minnesota.
We met in 2017, started trying in 2018.
It wasn't working out, and went and saw some specialists here locally. And
they checked all of our levels, realized that we were both low on the silly stuff, vitamins, testosterone, whatever. So we both started supplements. Did that for about a year. Every month when you get your period, you're sad, you're defeated. Every month I think I'd cry.
And, it just wasn't working. And then
Summer of 2021, we saw our first fertility specialist. Within one meeting, they decided that I had stage 4 endometriosis and required immediate surgery. Yep, you've got stage 4 endometriosis with a very large chocolate cyst on your left ovary. So I was like, what does that mean? I freaked out, instantly thought our life is over. I'm gonna die of cancer. Like, I don't know, you have no idea. But we planned the surgery, got that in August of 2021. We went on a family vacation to St. Thomas, and the timing of the vacation also overlapped with ovulation. So we're like, all right, here we go. This is our last Hail Mary chance. We're gonna get pregnant on vacation. Well, lo and behold, it didn't work, which also was devastating. We really had hope that would work. My endometriosis is gone, so we're back to perfect. We can do this. Fast forward, we ended up doing 3 rounds of IUIs back to back to back. It was not only emotionally draining, it was financially draining. Every single one was upwards of $1,000.
It's hard to put, money and effort into something and not get results back. To be honest, we thought from that moment that we weren't gonna have kids ever.
So after 7 years of trying every supplement, every magic fix that we could find under the sun, we realized IVF was our last option.
We looked locally at all of our fertility options. Any quotes that we were getting with doctors were anywhere between $30,000 to $50,000+.
Looking at IVF locally was anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000. We contemplated that very briefly, trying to figure out what loans we could take out or how we could make it work. It just wasn't possible.
$30,000 to $50,000?
Per round.
Yeah. Let me write a check for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do you pay for that? So that was pretty much out of the question immediately.
Yeah. Maybe this is not gonna work out for us. Maybe this is God's plan and this is just not meant to be. Maybe we should just stop and be the fun aunt and uncle. That was difficult, to say the least.
I heard of CNY on TikTok, actually.
I think I sent you a video on TikTok.
Yeah.
I was scrolling one night on TikTok and saw a CNY patient with her story, and I ended up forwarding that.
They made it affordable. It was much more doable. Even with travel and staying additional time and making it a somewhat vacation, it was still a fraction of the cost.
You kind of almost think that it's fake. Like, how is that even possible?
All in all, travel and everything included, we ended up just over $10,000,
Yeah.
which is still a big total, but
Big investment.
it's so much cheaper and
Worth it.
Yeah, absolutely worth it. So we pulled the trigger and went with it. I think it was towards the end of February we started our medication. You get this big box full of pills and needles and all sorts of stuff. The most expensive and best and scariest package that we ever received. It was also reassuring because it was hope, and we had lost a lot of hope. We did our egg retrieval March 14th, and we ended up with 5 healthy embryos, and we did our transfer on May 12th.
Yep, May 12th. And we just prayed. Prayed it worked. And 2 weeks later, it was my birthday morning, around 9 o'clock in the morning.
I couldn't even get the words out. I just FaceTimed him and crying, just nodding, like, yep, we did it, we did it. And he just cried. We both just sat on FaceTime crying. He just kept repeating, we're pregnant, we're pregnant, we're pregnant. And I said, yes, yep, we are.
I instantly knew that she was pregnant, and yeah. I lost it.
You've always wanted to be a dad.
Yeah, if there's anything on this world I was meant to do is to be a dad, so.
And at 1:44 on Sunday, January 12th, Maverick came.
We did skin-to-skin contact as soon as he came out, and I never wanted to let go.
Oof. We created that thanks to CNY, thanks to science. I mean, without that, we wouldn't have him, but I grew him and he's us.
All the trials and failures and 7 years of the ups and the downs and the crying and the celebrating and the heartbreak.
7 long years of all the emotions you could think of, roller coasters of highest highs and lowest lows. We're finally headed home with our baby. It was the most surreal drive home. I don't know any other way to describe it other than surreal. And just the fact that we truly never thought that we'd be here, it's literally life-changing. Infertility broke me. Like, it put me in the darkest spot ever. And now to look at my son, I'm just glad we never gave up. I'm glad we found CNY. I don't wish infertility on my worst enemy, but to know that there is a community out there and there are people that can help you makes everything feel so much more doable.
So there's a couple watching this right now who's about to sell their kidney to be able to afford IVF.
Get that?
Yeah.
What do you have to say to them?
It's a big leap, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely not out of reach. Definitely getting quotes from local fertility clinics can make it seem out of range.
Yeah.
But I promise, go to CNY, get a quote, and your life will change.
You can do it through them, that's for sure.
Yeah.